All right, this is Homework Help, Module 4, Lesson 10th for 5th grade. All right, we're going to rewrite these expressions using words. All right, so first we have the 3/4, and then we have subtraction. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say 3/4 of, now the word of most of the time means multiply, of the difference of and this is where we're going to write in 2/5 and 5/6. Okay, could you write it different? 3/4 of the difference of, okay, you could write 3/4 of the difference between 2 and 2/5 and 5/6. Okay, so that's another way you could have written it. Now over on this other side, we have the sum adding. So all we're going to do is the sum of 2 1/4 and 8/3. Okay, you might be able to do 8/3 being quotient, so you might be able to say the sum of 2 1/4 and the quotient of 8 and 3. Now remember, quotient is division. So 8/3 is the same as 8 divided by 3. So that's the quotient. The answer would be a quotient. Okay, write the expression and then solve. 3 less than 1/4 of the product of 8/3 and 9. So we have product of 8/3 and 9. Okay, and then it says 3 less than 1/4 of the product. So this 3 less than 1/4 of the product. This tells me we're going to do some subtraction. And then this is saying 1/4 of the product. All right, so it looks like we're going to do 1/4 of the product. So we're going to multiply here the product of 8/3 and 9, and then we're going to do 3 less than that. Okay, so what we're going to do first is in parentheses, and then we're going to multiply that by 1/4, and then we're going to do the subtraction. So the subtraction's last, even though it came first. Okay, All right, you want to subtract from the product of 8/3 and 9. And you want to have 1/4 of that product. All right, so first we're going to do the 8/3 times 9. So that's going to be 72 over 3. Now you might be saying, how did I get the 72? Well, that's 8 times 9 equals 72. So we have 1/4 of 72 thirds. Okay. Now I can cross cancel if I want, but most of you won't know how to do that. So, and after that, we're going to minus the 3. All right, so let's go ahead and divide 72 divided by 3. Some of you can do it in your head. I'm going to go ahead and do it over here. So we had 7 divided by 3 is 2. So we have a 6 there. And now we have 12 divided by 3, it's a 4. And we're going to subtract the 12. And when we subtract that 12, we are going to get a 0. So there is no remainder. All right, so now we have 1/4 of 24. Getting the 24 from here. And then we're going to subtract that 3 again. All right, so most of you will be able to do this. That's 4 is 1 time, 6 times here. So it's going to be 6 minus 3, which will give us 3. So our answer is 3 on this. Okay, so I wrote the expression right here. And then I solved it right here. Some of you might be wondering, how did I get the 6? So I'll go ahead and show it to you. I'm going to multiply 24 times 1 and then divide it by 4, which is give me 24 over 4, which is equal to 6. All right. Write an expression to match the, and then evaluate. Well, you have 8, so I'm going to do, those are for homework, so I'm going to do B, C, F. Subtract 4 from 1/6 of 42. All right. Don't forget the of equals that, and then we have a subtraction. It even says that, so I'm going to put the subtraction last. And it says then evaluate, so that means we're going to solve it afterwards. So first, we're going to do 1/6 of 42. You can put parentheses on that. That will be 42 over 6. And we're going to minus our 4. 42 over 6, let's see, that will be 7 times. So we have 7 minus 4, so our answer is going to be 3. Again, if you're not sure how I got the 7, it's 42 divided by 6 is 7. Okay, so that's how I got the 7 for here. Okay. All right, 7 times as much as the sum of 1/3 and 4/5. Okay, so we have the sum and we have multiplication. So we have 7 times the sum of 1/3 and 4/5. All right. So I'll go ahead and butterfly this and do 5/15 plus 12/15 and I'm going to multiply that times 7. All right, and then my next step is going to be, they don't really give you a lot of space for this, so 12 plus 5 is 17/15. I'm going to multiply that times 7. I can do it right here if I want. 17 times 7. Kind of hard to do. It'll be 49. 119 over 15. Okay. A lot of work there. Another way I could have done it is that we have 17 over 15 is the same as 1 2/15. Okay, so if that's the case, then 1 2/15 times 7, I can do 7 times 1 plus 7 times 2/15. All right. So that will give me easier to do. So I have 7 plus 14/15. So my answer is 7 14/15. Now, if you don't believe me, I'll go ahead and show you. Fifteen times 7 will give me 105. Okay, so this would be 7 and 14/15. Ta-da! Same thing. My remainder goes up here, and it's 14. How did I know it was 7? Guessing, but also because I just did it on the other way, I was able to do it. Okay? Wow, that gives me some hope for something. All right. All right. Now we have 15 times as much as 1/5 of, okay, because this is another multiplication. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a different color though. 15 times as much as 1/5 of 12. So I can put my 15 first times my 1/5 of 12. Okay, now I could move my parentheses around here because everything's a multiplication, and I can do 15 times 1/5 if I wanted to. Okay, it's part of the associative property, so I could do 15 times 1/5 times 12 and put these together. Now, why is that going to be easier? Well, if you look at it, 15 and 5 are related, so it's going to be 3 times 12. And that's going to give me 36. Now, for those of you that don't believe me, I'll go ahead and do it the other way. So we have 15 times 1/5 of 12. All right, so this becomes 12/5. And I'm going to multiply that times 15. Okay. Now hopefully you see that 12/5 is the same as, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to go, it's 2 2/5. So it's 15 times 2 2/5. Okay. Again, I can separate these, so it's going to be 15 times 2 plus 15 times 2/5. All right. So then we get 30 here. And over here, we're going to get 30/5. Oops, sorry, 30/5. I'm thinking ahead. And hopefully you know that 30/5 is the same as 6. So we're going to have 30 plus 6, which is equal to 36. Check, check. All right, let's see. Did I put another one out here? Yes, I did one. All right, here we have to use the symbols and explain. Now this should be C here as a typo. Now we can just look at what's similar. Oops, this is yours, not mine. And what is different. And explain it that way. So I'm going to do it again over here. What's the same? This and this. Okay. What's different? 3/5 and 3/8. So if I multiply something by 3/8, I'm going to get a smaller number. So I know my answer is going to go that way. Because 3/5 is greater than 3/8. What is in parentheses is the same. Okay? So again, on this last one, you got to be careful because it has addition inside of the parentheses, which means you have to do the addition first before. Now some of you may want to try to solve it. That's okay, but it says here, okay, without calculating. So you don't want to calculate. All right. In your head you can do it. 32/16 is 2. So that would be 2 plus 2 gives me 4. 4 times 6. Over here we have 6 times 2, which is 12. Times 2 is 24. Oh no, sorry. Yes, times 2. I just gave it away. Just gave it away. No, that's 6 times 2 plus 2. So that's 12 plus 2 is 14. So I just gave it away again. All right. You're going to have to explain it though. All right. So the word is baseball. I'm actually sitting outside while my son practices baseball. And that's what I'm doing. So